as far as I'm aware, you don't own your primary home just yet, or you haven't moved into a home that you purchased just yet. You're still, renting, and
Yeah,
yet you have rental properties.
absolutely. So that's one way that we have found to kind of hack the system is to just rent. We were house sitting for a while, so that was even better because there was no expenses on that end, no heating, no anything. But we've decided to settle down into an actual rental.
Hello, welcome to the Adriana Ostapenko podcast. I'm here with a really special guest today, Megan Banks. She is my business partner at Turnkey Virtual Agency. I've known Megan for a few years now, and she's brought so much value to my life and to the business that we run together. So I wanted to have her here so we can dive into different topics, including but not limited to what does a virtual agency do? What is the purpose of it? What are some of the challenges and successes we've experienced so far by running Turnkey? So welcome, Megan. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you so much. Very happy and excited to be here.
Amazing. Tell us all a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So as Adriana said, my name is Megan. I was born and raised in Whitehorse, Yukon. So very north. I have migrated down a little bit south on the west coast to Squamish, which is about 45 minutes from Vancouver. Still quite young in age, but am very ambitious in business and decided to start the virtual agency on my own about 2 years ago. And about a year and a half ago, I decided to go full time into it as I found there was more value and meaning to the work than the typical job scene. But I won't get into that too much. But yeah, that's kind of a little bit about me. And yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. In terms of your background, I know that you and your partner are real estate investors as well. Can you I know it's like mostly the side of things from what you tell me, but can you tell me a little bit about what your portfolio looks like and how long you've been investing in real estate?
Yeah, absolutely. I believe it's been about 2 years as well, maybe 2.5 since we bought our first rental property. It's actually quite funny, the story of our first rental property, because we were moving out of a rental and he decided to buy this house and I was in love with it. I was like, this is amazing. This is going to be our house for a while, like typical settle down. And in typical investor fashion, he was like, we're not going to live here for more than 6 months. Like, don't get attached. We're going to turn it around. We're going to rent it. And we ended up moving out about a month and a half later to a different rental so that we could rent it and earn cash flow on it. So that one's in Whitehorse. And then we also have a rental property in northern BC, and we serve medical professionals. So we rent it out to the government on more of an Airbnb style. So travel nurses come in and out as they're traveling to the community. They need a nice place to stay. And that's one thing that we've found with travel nursing is a lot of them don't want to go back to these remote communities because they're staying in hotels or they're staying in really like not nice places. So we wanted to add the value of a home to their stays. So we have gained a lot of traction there and are starting to work on some more partnerships across Canada. So that's pretty exciting.
That's exciting. Something that you said there that I don't think a lot of people realize that is an option is, as far as I'm aware, you don't own your primary home just yet, or you haven't moved into a home that you purchased just yet. You're still, renting, and yet you have rental properties.
Absolutely. So that's one way that we have found to kind of hack the system is to just rent. We were house sitting for a while, so that was even better because there was no expenses on that end, no heating, no anything. But we've decided to settle down into an actual rental, and it just makes the most sense for us because you have rental properties and somebody else is paying your mortgage. It's really kind of the best way to go for us right now. rather than having our own place and having those high mortgage payments coming out.
The other thing is you live in a really beautiful location. I know you took some time to research where you kind of wanted to settle down. And also the price of real estate there is quite hefty, just like where I live is the same thing because it's so nice. So this is a good solution for you to rent and pay a lower cost, but live the lifestyle that you wanted to live. Tell me a little bit about your decision to move there and what that means for you guys and your family.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So the real reason we wanted to move to Squamish is because it was closer to the city. As much as I love Whitehorse, it is very isolated. For those that don't know, it's about a 2.5-hour flight from either Edmonton, Calgary, or Vancouver, or 24 to 30 hours driving to the next biggest city. And biggest city, I mean probably 30 hours to Vancouver. You could get to maybe Grand Prairie, Alberta in 18 hours, but I mean, that's not that big of a city. So it was really the location for us. As we were both starting our businesses, we wanted to be closer to people that were in the same kind of mindset as us. We found Whitehorse very limited to people that were kind of just in the rat race, in the grind, and we wanted a bit of a change of scenery. But Squamish is very similar to Whitehorse in the activities that we like to do outside of our business. So biking, climbing, hiking, all of the outdoor things, it's really similar to Whitehorse. So that's kind of why we landed on Squamish. We didn't really take into consideration the price of things. Since Squamish is so close to Vancouver, it's such a desirable place for people that can't afford Vancouver. But since that has happened, it's driven Squamish prices up insane. You're probably looking at $700 to $800 for a 1-bedroom apartment, and at least $1 million to 1.2 for a single family home, which is a little bit crazy in this economy, especially with the typical income that most people are seeing. You need to kind of get creative in buying a house. So our plan is definitely to buy. It's just when that will happen. We're very happy in our rental right now. Beautiful spot, beautiful view, kind of the best spot in Squamish. So we're happy. We're not rushed to buy anything. We'll kind of just see if the timing's right, something will come up, seller financing, rent to own, kind of just get a little bit more creative than conventional.
I love that. I think for those that are younger and struggling to get into the market for numerous types of reasons, I think the messaging here and how you guys have chosen to live your lives is not to compromise on, the location where you want to live, the lifestyle that you want to have, just because it feels difficult or challenging to get in the market. Some really good tips on the house hacking side of things. So you've done house sitting for a long time, for many years, really just. And there's a whole community out there where you can get house sitting opportunities. We have another close team member at Turnkey that does the same thing, and they move from house to house, helping take care of the houses and pets as well, which is very popular. And you get to live for free and you get to travel around. So if you're a little on the younger, or if you're on the younger side, you don't have kids just yet, and if you can work remote like we do at Turnkey, it gives you that option to house it. Second, you're renting in a beautiful place. I know it's a brand new unit. You guys were the first ones to live there. You have shown me the view. It's absolutely gorgeous. The location of the house, the location where you are, it's just so beautiful. So you're not compromising on your lifestyle, but yet you don't have to carry, property taxes and high interest on the mortgage. Your rent is fixed. You know what you're expected to pay, something that you can afford, and you're continuing to buy and invest in real estate to grow your wealth over the long term. So I love that. I think those are really solid tips for anybody that is looking to get into the market, but has some of the challenges that we're all facing right now. So I love that.
Absolutely. There's always a solution.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so tell me a little bit about Turnkey. So you started a couple of years ago. What was your what took you, what led you to start Turnkey, and then what do you feel is its main purpose now?
Yeah, no, it's definitely a lot different from when I started. I started just as an independent contractor as a virtual assistant. As I was transitioning from, it's kind of the like middle tail end of COVID. I was working in an office for the government, and I really was not enjoying it. My partner works remotely and traveled a lot, and I just really wasn't liking the lifestyle of being stuck while he was away and we weren't seeing each other very much. So I was looking for solutions on how I could make a living while being able to be with my partner and still enjoy the work that I did, because I found that in the specific position that I was in, it wasn't really working with kind of the lifestyle and the values that I held in helping and assisting people kind of expand and improve their business. And so I stumbled across a course for a virtual assistant and started part-time while I was still at the government. And then in January of 2022, so last year, I decided to jump in full time. And this is around the time where I discovered real estate, because Austin, my partner, was investing in real estate and he had a couple of connections. One of them actually was Adriana that had originally reached out to me. And I realized that the real estate industry had such a large need for virtual assistants that I really couldn't do it by myself. Like, I started by myself and was doing it for a couple months, and then really learned that if I wanted to make something of this, I needed to build a team around it, and decided to start hiring people and just go with it and see how it went. And it slowly but kind of quickly grew to like a team of 6 within a couple months, which was pretty exciting. Looking back now, I would definitely say that there could be some areas where, I would have focused some more time towards, and just building those relationships with our clients. So around that time, we did decide to go full real estate. So we weren't helping anyone that wasn't kind of in the real estate industry. We focused mainly on real estate investors, but had a couple of agents and a couple of mortgage brokers as well. And fast forward to now, we have grown our team to about 10 people. Obviously, I have Adriana as a lovely business partner, and we are serving real estate professionals still. And I definitely am still seeing the need for our services, are like specialty services.
You said there was a couple of things that you learned and then you brushed it over really fast. Can you dive into what were the things that now looking back you would have done differently?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I would say it really comes down to your team and who you have on your team. I feel like when I was first starting, I had never been a boss before, so I had never hired people under me. It was kind of my first time at the whole thing, so I was just like bringing in anyone that I thought at the time would be a good fit, but I hadn't really identified my core values or the company's core values. So I found that very difficult when hiring people to match with your clients, because you want, obviously, if I could, I would have cloned myself 10 times and then just done all of the work myself. But you have to get to a point where you do hire people that share the same core values as you and the company, so that they can be putting the company's best foot forward, because at the end of the day, it is the company that is the face of it. It's not necessarily the employee or the contractor. So I would say that was kind of one of the biggest things that I learned, is just finding the right people that share the same core values, so that it's the same across the board. Each client is getting kind of the same type of person.
I love that. Obviously, I said I love that. Obviously, we've been focusing and we're a virtual agency. We are the people component of your business. We're really focused and intentional about who we hire. Are they a good match? Are they aligned with our values, short and long-term goals? Because honestly, what we've discovered by running Turnkey is we have a really massive impact in our clients' lives and businesses. Once you hire one of our services, we just become a big component. We work with solopreneurs, small business owners, so business owners that have, let's say 1 to 5 employees or 0 to 5 employees. So one person of that team makes a huge impact. And we've been really focused on how do we get the best possible people to join Turnkey and therefore to support you in your business. Very exciting. Where do you see it going from here?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's definitely been a big topic over the past couple of months as Adriana and I have been chatting just about kind of where we've come from and where we do want to go. I do really want to be the company to turn to for your real estate needs, helping people from, starting their real estate investing journey to helping the people that have scaled and grown to such a large portfolio that they're overwhelmed and they realize that they maybe should have hired people sooner. Like, we really want to be helping everybody and being the company to turn to because we are specialized in real estate. I think that that is a very strong suit of ours. Just that our employees, our people, know the industry and know kind of what you're going through, as opposed to hiring somebody brand spanking new that you'll have to teach and like, I don't know the word I'm looking for. Just teach the industry too.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I mean, we did specialize, and the reason is because we're both in real estate. I own and operate apartment buildings, and Turnkey to me was a solution to how do I go about systemizing my business, hiring, building processes, SOPs, and getting the help that I need to be able to scale. That's when Megan came into my life for enough time. And don't get me wrong, I still feel like I need everything, but at a time where I literally needed everything and didn't have anybody helping me out. And I saw the value in having a VA that had experience, but most of all had had the best intention for your business in mind, because there's so much value in somebody else that's putting the effort, the energy into your business, into figuring out how to help you build, how to help you with the different tasks and people that you need in your business. And I started to dream. I'm like, how amazing would it be to have an agency where not only do I get one VA, but I get potentially multiple VAs that can assist in different things of my business, different areas, from like marketing, lead generation, because I raise capital for our deals, to operations and the day-to-day running our portfolio and our apartment build business, including building CRMs. And I didn't have a CRM at first, and we had to like figure out how to build a back end for the systems that we needed to run. We get to get help with finance and bookkeeping things. We have a lot of properties, a lot of different bank accounts, a lot of corporations to keep track of. So really trying to figure out, where do I get help with all these services? I don't know how to build these things. I haven't done it before. Who's out there that's able to help me? And they don't always know everything either. But there is a process of collaboration that happens. They come with some expertise. I have some expertise. We discuss, and then we build something that's unique to what I needed for my business. Like, how wonderful it would be to provide this to all my friends and colleagues, because everybody else that I know still know, but like knew at the time, we're going through the same questions and the same struggles that I was going through. How do I figure out a solution for myself and then offer it to everybody else that I know? Because it's so needed. So yeah, definitely felt like the right time, and it's been a journey for sure.
Yeah, no, and the thing that I really like to kind of point out is that everyone's kind of going through starting their business and growing their portfolio a little bit blindly. And I think that that's okay. You don't need to know everything. And that's why you bring team members in and people in to support you in growing your business, in answering the questions. And if you don't know the answer, if they don't know the answer, it's like a mini mastermind all the time of like bouncing ideas off of each other, trying something out, doesn't work, okay, try something else out. But you really don't need to do business alone, which I think is great.
Yeah, so one of the really important things that we've implemented within Turnkey with our clients, we call them masterminds, really an opportunity to get together and like talk with somebody else about your business and your ideas. Myself as a visionary, I tend to have a lot of thoughts and a lot of things, a lot of ideas and big ideas to share. And somebody like Megan and so many others like is able to bring me down to earth a little bit and say, okay, I hear you, that sounds all amazing, like let's just start with the one thing first and take it from there. And it's able to break it down into the details of what we need to do, and that brings such massive value to have that collaboration. I now have 4 different VAs that work at Ace Properties in my business, and I'm able to have my own team. Part of what is so incredible about Turnkeys, we offer fractional services. I don't have the volume or the budget for full-time staff, but yet I need all these different people with different expertise and different input into the business. So I'm able to have a property specialist, somebody who's Michelle, who's able to just really look after everything property wise. She helps me with acquisitions, financing, refinances, insurance, oversight of the property management company. And I'm sure there's a huge list of things that I'm not even thinking about here. And she really helps with anything property wise, quarterly reports, updates, anything that needs to get done there. I have an EA, Angela, and she's helping. She's kind of a catch-all. She's there to help with my whole life, from email management, calendar management. She helps with anything of the raising capital, investor communications, event planning, travel management, and then like anything, kind of like a catch-all. Please help me. She's really gifted with the communication side of things. I get her to help me with all of that. I have a bookkeeper that works and does all the bookkeeping for the different companies that we operate in different properties. She offers really valuable financial reports once a month that helps me keep an eye and a pulse on the finance of my business in a really quick glance. So I've really worked with her to customize and build out what I feel like I needed to be seeing on a monthly basis versus just a regular profit and loss statement from your accountant or your bookkeeper. That's gives me some information, but not the way I wanted to digest it and see it. And then I have a marketing admin, and she helps me with everything marketing related, social media and Facebook posts and LinkedIn and email campaigns. So they're all fractional. They all work with me and a few other clients, but I'm able to run and focus on scaling the business because of all the amazing team members I have on my team.
I think that's another good point to add is when you hire somebody full time, you're kind of expecting them to know everything. And like, if you hired one person full time, they would be in charge of all of the property stuff that Michelle is doing and all of the executive assistant stuff and the social media and the bookkeeping. Whereas like realistically, everyone kind of has their, what we like to call zone of genius, where they really excel. They don't feel like they're working. They're happy to show up to work. They're putting in their best foot forward. They're really efficient at what they do. So that's where fractional services come in handy, because you can have 4 or 5 team members for maybe even less than what you would hire a full-time person for. So I think that that's one thing that I would like you all to consider, is just taking a step back and really identifying, everyone has their strengths and their weaknesses, and you want to kind of bring in the people that have the strengths that maybe you don't have, so then you can build out a well-rounded team.
I love that. I was roughly calculating in my head amongst all the team members that I have. I probably would have an employee for 35 hours a week, which is, a full-time position in many cases. But yet it comes as 4 team members that specialize in different things in my business. So I love that. I see the value in it for small business owners and this is what people ask me all the time. How do I know when I hire? I said the only question you really need to answer is, are you looking to scale? If you are looking to scale your business, then I don't think you have an option, because you need to delegate and elevate your own time and tasks to be focusing on different things. And you need to be building those processes and automations. So that's the only way you're going to get some of that time back to focus on scaling and, income producing activities for your business, while you're offloading these other tasks that, for people that have it as their zone of genius. You said something there. I was just in a meeting with Kendra. As you know, she's my marketing VA and has a few other clients that she helps as well. She said, you know what? I'm so happy because I get to do video editing for a living. Yeah. She's like, I didn't even know I could do that. And when people ask me what I do and I say, this is what I do, I feel so proud and excited that that's actually my life. So that's what gives you an opportunity to do as well.
I just got chills. That makes me so happy. It makes my heart happy.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. Moving on to, what does it look like to, what would you say are your top 3 tips for success?
Yeah, I would say top 3 tips. Number 1 is kind of 1 and 2. Realizing that, I don't want this to come off in the wrong way, but realizing that you're not good at everything, and that is okay. You don't have to be good at everything. So I would say that that's kind of number 1. So figuring out where your specific zone of genius is. What do you love doing where, you can tell people, similar to Kendra, and be super happy about what you do for a living. Number 2 would be to hire earlier than you think. And I know that sounds scary because a lot of the time you don't have a surplus of cash flow to be paying for these people. But the longer that you go kind of doing everything, it's going to be harder for you to transition back into hiring and delegating when you're so used to doing everything. So I would hire sooner than you're ready to, so that you don't get too big where all of a sudden you need everything and you need everything now because you're burnt out and you can't take it anymore. Start with 1 person for maybe 6 hours a week. So when you think about it, that's not that bad. 6 hours a week, you can have someone helping you answer your emails and book your calendar appointments. Start small and then build from there. And the third one I would say is really to just trust in your team and trust that the people that you're bringing into your team have your business at their heart. Obviously, they have their own businesses as well, but when they're coming into your team, it's really all about how we can improve your business and how you can support them in supporting you. So really working as a team with your team. You are kind of the missing puzzle piece to that machine.
I love it. I feel like the 2 top challenges that most of our clients have, current clients and clients that are looking to come into Turnkey, is control. It's really difficult when you've been used to doing everything yourself. And not for everybody, but it's very difficult for a lot of entrepreneurs to let go of the control. They feel like if they're not doing it themselves, they may not get the results they're hoping for. And to be honest, sometimes that is true. However, if your goal is to scale, you don't have an option other than to let go of control. And by allowing somebody else to do it for you, and yes, they may not do exactly as you would have done it, but that's okay. If that person does 80% to how you would have done it, that's still 80% that you get back to focus on something else, on growing your business or a new partnership or raising that capital. The other thing is, it's going to give you clarity on how to give instructions and how to set up your proper system, so you are experiencing the results that you want with somebody else doing it. As long as you're doing it yourself, you don't have that perspective. Your skill sets go from being in the tools, in the actual day-to-day, to learning now how to manage somebody else, how to motivate them, how to share your vision, how to come up with clear goals and measurables for your team. So different types. The clients that we find are most successful are the clients that come in and are very, very not only willing, but eager to delegate and eager to pass on their tasks to other team members. And the ones that show up and are interested in actually having team members join their team and, contribute. Those are the clients and the business that do the best. The other thing is, like you said, some people are scared. Where do I get the money to pay? And that's a bigger question than just paying for your VA. Are you running a profitable business in the first place? If you are doing all the work in your business for free, for your equity in the business, and you're not really a profitable business just yet. And sometimes that does happen. But for you to start allocating some of the funds, understanding where your revenue is coming from, what are your operating budget here, being able to allocate that to somebody, the sooner you do that and understand that dynamic and start implementing it, the sooner you get to yourself at a place where you understand your business finance, and you're able to allocate proper funds and then run a profitable business. So it is a journey, for some people, but it is the more you understand, the sooner you understand those principles and start implementing it, the quicker you're going to experience the success that you were hoping to experience in your business.
Absolutely.
I love it. Okay. Last question for you. If you had the world's attention for 30 seconds, what would you say to everybody?
Yes, I love this question. It definitely gets you thinking. I would say that even though it's your business and it seems like you have to do business alone, you don't have to do business alone. You can have your business and have the people around you to support your business. That was shorter than 30 seconds, but I think I'll leave it at that.
I love it. You don't have to do business alone. Yeah. There are people out there that will do it with you, with joy and pleasure, and are ready and willing to help you grow your business. So call Turnkey today. Book a discovery call, because we do have a team of people that are ready to support you in your business. If you're in real estate, we do help other businesses, construction, property management, mortgage brokers, really focus on the real estate industry, but give us a call and find out how we can support you in scaling your business. Thanks, Megan. It's always a pleasure. So fun to finally have you on my podcast. I look forward to having recurring ones and continue to share all of our learning and growth with everybody else. Where can people find you?
People can find me through our Turnkey account, so Turnkey Virtual Agency on Instagram and Facebook, or myself. I also have a personal account that I connect with people through on the investing side of things, so Megan Banks. That's me.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you very soon. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel to continue to hear more tips about business, growing wealth, and real estate. Until next time, thank you.